Hello class, I'm going to learn about something called Enum. Enum allows a programmer to create their own data type. You know how you have data types that are integers or strings or double or float? Well, now you could create your own data type. So when you do that, you can create your own lists. And the command you use to create that data type is called enum. If you notice, I have a function prototype right here. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but we have a function below main. So we learned about that earlier. Functions, you can use a prototype up here so that the system, the compiler, knows, oh, there's a function, but it's down at the bottom underneath main instead of putting it before main. So I used a function prototype, and then the actual program is underneath main, and we'll look at that program in a little bit. So Enum allows a programmer to create their very own data type. You can call the data type anything you want as long as it meets the same rules as when you name a variable. So you can't use the reserved words, or you can't start with a numerical value, etc. You have to use the same rules. Below, Enum tells the compiler you are creating a new data type. In this case, it is a data type color. So I'm creating a data type that I'm going to call color. The data that is included in color are brown, green, orange, red, yellow, and purple. So here it is. I use the word enum. Color is my data type, and these are the things that are in color. These are the colors that I want to be included in color. Okay? Color, shirt, blanket. So here's my data type, just like you would have a string or integer or double here. Now we're using color because we created a data type called color. And then I have a variable called shirt and a variable called blanket. So these are my two variables. They're both data type color. So they could be any of these different values. Okay? You know how you set initialize a variable? I'm initializing shirt to green, and I'm initializing blanket to shirt. So I'm saying, hey, blanket is going to be whatever color that shirt is, and shirt is going to be initialized at green. If shirt is equal to brown, you're going to see out the shirt is brown. So if shirt is equal to green, see out the shirt is green. Now notice I can't see out and put whatever value, like this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are position numbers, just like when we talked about the length of a string variable, and you could number each of those positions of those characters in that string. The same with your enum. This starts with position 0 and then it counts up. Okay? I can't say see out and put color and then whatever the value of that color is, like 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I can't do that because it will print out that number and it won't print out brown. Okay? If I have color bracket 0, color bracket 0, it won't print brown, it'll print 0. So I have to say, if the shirt equals brown, right, then I print out shirt is brown. If the shirt equals green, I print out the shirt is green, and so on. All right. You can use static cast to tell it which one of these do you want to deal with. Blanket equals static cast color, and then I say brown plus 3. So it'll go up, and it'll go to brown, and then it'll go up 3. 1, 2, 3. All right? And then I say the blanket after the first static cast is, and then I put blanket, and we'll see what value that is. So let's remove these comments here. All right. And we'll see what the blanket is, right? Will it count up these values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will it do that? All right, and then the next section, we're talking about the blanket. This one was a shirt. This one is a blanket using static cast. This one, the value in an enum must output indirectly. And that's what I was talking about. You can't tell it to print blanket, and I'll show you why. So let's just do a build here. and then we're going to run it. All right, the shirt is green. The blanket after the first static cast is 3. See what I'm talking about? I used the variable, the blanket after the first static cast, and I put the variable there, and it gave me a 3. Because we did a static cast, brown plus 3, right? So it gave me a 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. It didn't give me red. If I want it to give me red, I have to do it indirectly. So I have to have, that's why I have this little if statement. You know, for blanket equal brown, blanket is less than or equal to purple, blanket equals static cast color, blanket plus 1. So we add 1 and we go through each one. And if the blanket is equal to brown, see out the shirt is brown. We're printing the color indirectly because we don't want it to print the numerical value. We want it to print the color. So when we run it, now we get the shirt is brown, the shirt is green, right? Because we're doing it indirectly. You have to print it indirectly. Otherwise, it'll print the numerical value of that data type, the position number, okay? In the next program, it shows, look, we're creating an enum called fav food. So that's my data type, favorite food, right? Fav food. And then I tell you, here's the different foods in fav food. Steak, taco, salad, taco, hamburger, vegetables, chicken, and fish. That declares the variables that allow users to choose from a list. So that puts, you know, these are the things a user could choose from a list. And then we tell them we're going to declare letter 1 and letter 2 because we're going to tell them only type in the first 2 letters and then we'll know what it is that your favorite food is. We're going to set letter 1 to S because that's the first letter and letter 2 to T. So we're setting that first value so it knows where to start counting. Remember, this is 0, 1, 2, 3 for the positions, okay? So we initialize the first letter 1 and then we initialize letter 2, S and T in steak, okay? Now, fav food choice. They need to make a choice. So I'm saying data type is fav food and the variable is choice. So the user's going to pick which of those are their favorite food. All right, and then choice equals steak. So I'm initializing the variable choice with starting with steak. That's just getting it initialized, just like we initialize variables to 0. See out what is your favorite food in the list. See out steak, salad, taco, hamburger, vegetables, chicken, or fish. And then enter the first 2 letters, capitals matter. And then the user will type in capital S lowercase t or capital S lowercase a, and then those letters will be assigned to letter 1 and letter 2. Next, we're going to use a switch statement to determine the user's choice. So we're going to decide what value is choice going to have. Is it going to have be a steak or a salad? We don't know. We just know those 2 letters. So we have if statements to check. We're using switch statements and cases to help us decide. So the first one, case S, which is for steak, right? Because steak was first in our list. Steak, then salad, then taco, hamburger, vegetables, chicken, and fish. S, and if letter 2 equals T, we know the choice is going to be equal to steak. Else, it's going to be salad. Then if they type a T first, so that takes care of steak and salad. If they type a T first, well, we know that's going to be taco, and so on for the rest of those values, okay? And if it's any other letter, we say that's illegal input, and that's the end of the switch statement. Now remember, we can't just like see out choice here, because that would put the value of, like, say, if it was hamburger, and I say underneath that, see out choice, what will happen? Well, what is the number, the position number? 0, 1, 2, 3. It would print a 3. So now I need a function that can print out those values for me, right? So it makes sense. So down here below this switch statements, we're going to call, remember that function I had before the main? I'm calling it right here and I'm saying, hey, go do that function so we can print out what their choices were. And here's the end of main. So here is the function where we print out what it was the user picked. So case S, if letter 2 equal T, then print out you chose steak. Else, they want to print on the screen you chose a salad. If they case T, see out you chose taco, and etc. Okay? So that actually prints it to the screen. So that is how Enum works. Enum is a way for you to create your own data types, which can be very handy. It can be very useful. So I hope you enjoyed that, and there'll be more tutorials coming.